Okay, who wants to start off Happy Dollars today? How about Steve Patterson? I see money on the table. Thank you, Lowlight.
What were the
Scumbag. Gail Fisher.
last is developing
Now, you're early. What happened? What happened?
What'd you do?
like developed mining
President Ken, Lions and Guests.
and police
Have one sad dollar.
and
Don't care
regulated
Maryland is home sick today. Yep. Told her to stay home. And at the multiple district council meeting on Saturday
coal mining and
in Tacoma,
gold.
Steve Staudinger from Vancouver and myself are on this committee to change the Excellence Awards to include what it used to be for treasurers. And now beginning in July, that will be reinstated. So we pushed for that. So now we can have,
That means I'd like to.
since we're a club that has a secretary and a treasurer, each of them can be eligible in their own right for their own Excellence Award. We were real happy about that. Thanks, Steve. John Claypool.
Thank you, Taylor Twister Steve. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I have one happy dollar because I get to see Lion Doug Irvine here today. Don't know why, but good to see you, Doug. I don't know why I'm happy. Was that obvious from what I said? The second happy dollar is this wonderful weather that we're having. I have a lot of birds that depend on me out in my backyard.
Very good. How'd you guys like the Super Bowl this last weekend? Was that best halftime ever? No. Jim Reineke, spread a little happiness today, buddy.
King Lion, Ken, fellow Lions, and yes, I've got $2, one of them's not mine. The happy dollar is if somehow we didn't get the snow that they had in Seattle or Portland, that's happy dollar. The other dollar is from past President Terry Woodruff. He says a sad dollar, regretfully, he cannot be here today. He is in Hawaii playing golf.
Do we need to send him a sympathy card? Lion Jim.
I'll hand deliver it.
Here are a few dollars. One's a sad dollar.
President too?
President, it's been a while. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. Three unhappy, sad dollars. I'm not in Hawaii playing golf. And a couple of happy dollars. I'm very glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, Jim. Mark Kelch.
President Ken had a check. Fellow Lions and guests, a few happy dollars. I'll get a little bit of change out of that. First, sad dollar. I had to miss the last two meetings. I'm sure you're all sad as well. But I was happy. Second dollar that I was able to make the zone meeting in Castle Rock. That was nice to get in there. Sad dollar. Family health struggles seem to jinx us. Our grandson Trevor ended up in the emergency room and admitted to the hospital Friday. Long story, but he's home now, feeling better, so that's good. And finally, I'm hoping to go to Tacoma on Saturday to have a lunch again with my bird sister. It may or may not occur, given the weather. We'll see how this goes.
Thank you, Mark. Presidente Grapefruit.
President Ken, fellow Lions again. Yes, again, every year, this coming Sunday is my birthday. I will be 39. the 34th time.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's a tradition. Happy birthday to you.
I know. I know that we haven't gotten to the guest part yet, but look, it's Kim Hampton. Does everyone know Kim Hampton? 42 years at Columbia Ford, just retired. My good buddy for 18 plus years, that's a long time ago. Golly Harvey's got a happy dollar.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I'm glad to be here. Last week I wasn't real well. Back's giving out.
George Moore.
It's that pole dancing. The pole dancing did it.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, got a happy dollar here. She got up yesterday morning down to the beach and had between 2 and 3 inches of snow. It was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, right. Then I got a sad dollar Thursday morning. Carmen's youngest son goes in for bone marrow transplant. So it's going to be a hectic couple weeks.
Any happiness here? Oh, looks like Gary's got a lot of happiness going on there. Should we take this money? Should we call it happy money? Probably better not. Hal Palmer.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, and one beautiful and one, not so much tail twister. Fellow Lions and guests.
Bob?
Yeah.
Bob. How much
Yes,
did
Council of Governors meeting last Saturday.
much
I
does
want to
kettle
thank
cook for?
Steve
Whenever they're,
Patterson for
whenever
standing
they're
in for me for the
off.
first half hour.
Some of them paid $5 for a big one, and some of them threw in a couple dollars, so.
David Smith always brings happy money. Always.
President Ken, honored President Ken, honored fellow Lions, and honored guests. I have a happy buck dollar for the pot, you know, and, well, bucket, you know. But anyway, I'm thankful for the people. I'm happy about the people that let us rent this place, the people that serve the food, and a lot of the places allowing us to serve the food. And I'm happy. I'm going to put a plug in. I'm happy that I'm retired from Google, but I'm 42 years, and so far in the whole area, for quite a ways away, including Tacoma, Vancouver, all of them in the region, I still have the most years than anybody else. That's a plus. I've been there pretty hard at the top. And I'm going to get something real quick and I'm out here. Pack up all your troubles, here we go. It's not going to snow. The wind may blow. And let's see what else. I had something else going on. Don't be blue, wear your shoes, and don't do the pants and make them look nice, bad. Keep it going, not early.
You guys can dance if you want. Okay, very good, David. And you know, David brings up a good point. We sometimes forget to show appreciation for the great facility and the great Eagles Club people that take care of us here. I've been a member of Eagles. I really appreciate the group. And once again, Lions and Eagles, great combination right here on Tuesdays. Toss you more. Gloria Lee.
Good morning. That's funny. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. I am thankful for every day God keeps me. It's a beautiful sunny day. We are blessed.
We are indeed. Now, Mr. Patrick Palmer, the star of the show.
I wouldn't hear if I could utter my sexy voice like Mikey does every time she gets on the
Thank good.
Hear you? Okay, never mind. That was sexy voice. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. First happy buck is that, woohoo, 7 days healthy. Ooh, God, it feels so much better than the hell I felt like over Christmas. Let's see, the second one is that had a very successful visit up to the Lucky Eagle where I made sure that somebody's not getting their check this month. It was a very good weekend. Thankful for that. Sunday, over at Rainier Eagles. But I did enter a chili cook-off. There were 15 people that brought their homemade chilies in, and oh my God, what an incredible array, you know. White chicken chili, a lot of red chilies, and of course, I bring a lobster and crab and white bean chili. And everybody was like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, did you taste it? And they would taste it, and they go, oh my God, this is nothing but buttery, creamy, lobstery goodness. So that was pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I gained a couple pounds for that one, which brings us to Monday night, where at nearly 60 years old, kept up with a bunch of high school kids on the basketball court while I rested. And it was a great night. So I'm just thrilled to be alive.
Great to have you here, Pat. Cindy Sessions.
President Keith, fellow Lions and guests, I have a sad dollar for Sunday's game. I wanted anybody but Tom Brady and his Patriots to win. I have a happy dollar because in 15 days Jim and I are going to Maui to celebrate our 30th that happened in October. I also have a happy dollar because our good friend Tracy McDaniel is getting discharged today from the hospital. This was almost 2 weeks this time that she was in. And been spending some quality time with Daryl on the phone and with texting. So continue to keep him in your thoughts and prayers, please.
Thank you, Cindy. Mr. Nick Lemire.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I'm happy today because I get to be here. Last week I took 19 people of my wife's family to Disneyland, which some people say is the happiest place on earth. I disagree.
Hey, give them an application.
It sounds like Nick paid for the whole trip.
And I have an accounting of my account tomorrow.
Okay, did we skip anybody? Good dollars today. And I'll pick up a few more on the way back. If they got any.
Speed up.
If you
Doug Harvey.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I have a happy dollar that Dolly and I are going to go to the Big Island and hobble around for a couple of weeks. So,
okay? All right.
Happy pills.
President Ken.
No, we can't go anymore. Because you'll be first.
Sorry about that. Bill Olson's got a couple happy dollars to share.
President Ken, fellow Lions, and yes, first of all, this is a rebuttal for last week. I wasn't in the room at the time, but past zone chair Gary Hill said something about his name tag being lost for a year and Phil not replacing it. I'd like to point out that I've been secretary for 7 months. So Steve, wherever you are, no, it's wrong, Steve. The secretary of the year past has 5 months of your thing there. And the second is a happy dollar. I heard this story about grandkids, and when I left home, we had two great-grandkids. When I left home, we had 2 great-grandkids running around our house. It was really cool.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
We have another dollar. Gary Hill. Gary looks like he's got merch today.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, yes, I do have a rebuttal. I do acknowledge that
His name is Phil.
definitely has not followed through with providing me a badge, though 7 months is a pretty long time, don't you agree? Yeah.
Next time you put it away, make sure the pin is sticking up.
Moving right along. Leroy has one.
Leroy Carson. Oh, I'll stop on the way. There's all kinds of money floating around today, lined up.
President, and fellow Lions and guests, just thought I'd better mention this is the 20th anniversary since I parted company with Weyerhaeuser after 35 years. Wow.
Lion Leroy. On drums today.
President Ken, fellows and guests, cheers, that's what move. Anyway, hey, that's gonna be a advertising dollar, that's what it's gonna be. Coming up this weekend, Saturday, at 7 o'clock over at the Longview Theater, and Sunday at 3 o'clock at the Longview Theater, Southwest Washington Symphony is having their 2 concerts. Admission is free, that's great, so everybody can come and watch, and the bonus of that is that you can come and watch me on percussion again. There you go. That's Saturday and Sunday.
El Presidente Ken.
Fellow Lions and guests, I've got a happy dollar today and kind of a commercial. Saturday at Walmart, we had a terrific time selling kettle corn. If you haven't been out to help sell kettle corn, you will enjoy the activity tremendously. Especially when you get bald-headed old men that cut their heads open on a canopy.
Who would that be, kid?
I have no idea, but it hurts. Also, the commercial side of that, if you'll notice on the table over here, we invested in a brand new kettle corn machine that is just doing outstanding things. And it's my understanding this morning they've done almost $1,800 worth of kettle corn since they bought the machine a month ago. We have a few bags left from this past weekend over there that are going for, well, Bob said we'd let it go for whatever you want to pay for it. We were paying $5 for it at the Walmart. So before the meeting's over, we hope all those are gone. If not, you can buy them next month at the next meeting. I don't have a gavel. Gavel, who got the gavel?
No, he's got it.
He found it.
Invocation by Lion John Claypool.
Father, we stand before you today as Lions. We're thankful to be Lions, to be able to serve others in our community, those that need us. We ask you to watch over us in what we do. Help us to be well thought of. We thank you for this food today. We ask you to bless it to our bodies so that we can serve others. Amen. Amen.
Flag salute, Gary Hill.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we had another one on here, but it's supposed to be the song, and I don't think Mike Parker wants to sing the song, so we'll have Phil Olson bring the song.
My country is a sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring.
Thank you, Mike. Sorry about that. Introduction of our guest, Bob Jessen.
President Ken and members, we do have one guest in the house today, as I work my way over here.
5-year Lion Dick McIntyre. Will you introduce your guest, please?
Fellow Lions and guests, would like to introduce Kim Hampton.
Hey, Kim.
If any of you have never met Kim before, she ran Columbia Ford for quite some time.
Now, President Ken, I was gone last week. I know a new member or a new guest has to sing a song. Did she sing her song last week?
Yes, she did.
She did? Okay.
Yeah. Just because you weren't here.
Something about driving your Chevy to the levee.
Cindy Sessions, you have his own report and a Taste of Italy report? Well, Cindy Fickett, Cindy Sessions, you're both Cindy's.
First of all, President Ken, Lions, and members, I'd like to share that we're not having a Valentine's party. There was some confliction, so it's not happening this year. But we'll work on it for next year. I know. And secondly, before I forget, this is from newspaper, the Taste of Italy is coming up. So we're having our first meeting this coming Monday, the 11th, at 6:30 at my house. So come with your plans and ideas and sure. Okay, we went to the Toledo, no, where did we go? Tacoma. The mind works with the mouth. So anyway, we went to that, and it was really interesting. We got to see all the works of the upper crust working for us. Yeah. Well, you know, the governors and zone chairs and all of them. So that was really interesting. They're having another one this coming weekend. It's a council meeting in Aberdeen. But I think it's going to snow, so I'm not sure I'm going, but anybody else who wants to brave it, there's information out for that.
Cosmopolis.
Cosmopolis, yeah. So that's an hour and 40 minutes.
37 minutes.
That's there. So, and then we have the spring conference coming up, which is May
17th.
Louis, can you handle that for me?
Pay the fine,
Spring
Louis.
conference is coming up May 17th and 18th. Please put that on your calendar. Registration is $25 and you get meals on top of that. But try at least make it to the fun night and the banquet. And they'll have some other stuff going on. And we'll have contests, so it'd be fun if you could join in on that too. All that information will be coming in May. So, hopefully. Then we have visitations. We have one February 9th that's in Aberdeen. I don't think we're going to go. But anybody else who's brave enough to go through the snow, that possibly might happen, that's it. February 16th is a Lions dinner in Vancouver. That's $40, and there's sheets here to sign up for that. February 18th is the Centralia Lions at Denny's. February 20th is Cascade Lions at Cascadia. And then 20th is the Toledo Lions. I'll stop there because it goes on and on. I'm planning all these trips, so hopefully the weather will help. And then we get the Learning Forum. That's coming up March 2nd, and that's in Cascadia. That's a wonderful facility for classes. So here's a sign up for that, and there's sheets. You can sign up online too. So there's sheets here where you can sign up. So there's that opportunity for you too. And I think that's everything.
George Moore. Cindy Sessions, you want to work your way up?
Thank you. Jim Renicky, would you please come up here, past district governor? As most of you know, Jim is old, but anyway, he retired from the Army, and if any of you have been around him much, you've heard lots of stories. Anyway, we've been researching and researching, trying to find some pictures of Jim back when he joined the Army. We finally found some. Got a picture of him when he joined the Army, and since he's from Texas, we also got a picture of his first assignment. Jim, I'd like to present you with this. And the rest of you, there's some being passed out to run around the table and look at.
Thank you, George, you in your doddering old age.
I don't know what color your horse was.
Now, if we could have Mark Kelch and Harold Malone come up, please.
The only problem, George, is I started in the Navy.
But the horse drowned.
The horse knew how to swim.
All right, we have a couple of awards to give out today. The first one is for Mark Kelch, and he's getting the Gold Centennial Award from LCI. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We also have one for Harold Malone. He is also receiving Gold Centennial. Congratulations. And I'd also like to have an awards committee meeting right after this meeting over there where I'm sitting, please.
Hal Palmer. Right behind you.
President Ken, fellow lines and guests, I just want to share with you just an additional thing that we learned about at the Council of Governors meeting. District B has a booth at the conference called the Most Uplifting Diabetes Conference You'll Ever Attend. It's this Saturday. The normal price is more, but if you'll promise to work 1 hour with District B at their little booth, you can get in for $20. It's really, when you look at this brochure, it's really something else. So the question is, who would like a brochure? Anybody? Going once? Going twice?
Okay, that it, Hal? Steve Patterson.
President Ken, Lions and guests, it's been a while since we had a membership orientation class. We're going to have one tomorrow night. Mark, you are always a part of the orientation. Are you able to make tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the McClellan Arts Center? George is unable to make it. Greg is going to make it. It'll be warmer there. Yeah, we were going to have it at the shop for all new Red Badge members. Okay, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, McClellan Arts Center.
One more quick one. Doug can take it up here. Doug Harvey, about your new trip.
Thank you, President Ken. On your table, you'll see the membership news, and the reason I put it on the table was the membership for Maui contest is over. In the newsletter tells who won, but I just want to let you know that we have another contest that starts right now, and it goes until the end of April. If you bring in one lion between now and then, you'll be entered in the contest to win it. It's a drawing. It's going to be held at the spring conference over in Kelso. And so all you need to do is attend the spring conference and fill out the form for every lion you brought in. It'll go into a box, and the lucky person will be drawn on Saturday night at our final dinner. So bring them in. Thank you.
I'll wait until he sits down. Now we would like to introduce Doug Harvey, our program chair for the month, and our special guest, Laurel Murphy.
Laurel Murphy. I met Laurel Murphy when I was a safety chair for the downtowners and when I was president for the downtowners. I was really excited about having the opportunity to introduce her today. She calls herself a utility infielder because she has attended 10 institutes of higher learning. She received a BS degree and a law degree. The neat thing about it is she's had 33 jobs, and I'm going to name them all off right now. Actually, I just picked 3. Kind of interesting. Number 1, she worked with the state of Alaska, and she was responsible for issuing of the permits for leases for the gold and coal mines. And when, remember the Exxon Valdez when it lost out oil? Well, guess who worked on developing the environmental processes that are in place after that? Laurel. And finally, Weyerhaeuser and 3 other companies wanted to create an environmental guidebook. Guess who they called on to do it? Laurel Murphy. She's got a great program today. She's going to talk about the sculptures that are on the streets in downtown Longview, and it's a really interesting program. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn this over to Laurel. Laurel Murphy.
Thank you, Doug. I am so pleased to be talking to the Pioneer Alliance, and the first thing I'd like to say is a thank you for the Alliance Eyeglasses program, because I volunteer for Fish and answer the afternoon phones. Fish is known for its food services in the morning, and in the afternoons we try to meet other needs of our clients, like their water's been shut off, their electricity's been shut off, they need propane, and often eyeglasses come up. So I'm so pleased to be able to refer people to the Alliance Eyeglasses program. So yes, I am the chair of the Longview Outdoor Gallery. This is a picture of our board members, which most of them are original, going back to 2009 when we first thought about the program. And the actual person who brought it to our attention was Hans Schaufless, who used to be a librarian. A lot of you might know him. And he had been to Germany and seen outdoor sculptures. And I had just been to Grand Junction, Colorado, where these type of programs started in the, I believe, early 80s in the United States. So now it's a fairly typical, well, neither one of those are good words. A lot of towns have used these kind of programs, and 3 that I can think of in Washington are, besides our Longview program, are actually 3 others: Yakima, Port Townsend, and the big one is in Puyallup. They, I think, have over 100 sculptures around their city. It's a great program. And then I want to give a shout out to Janine LaRue, who every program really needs a champion. And even though Hans and I were kind of discussing this program, we needed someone who would just get passionate about it, and it was Janine. And she led this program up until, she just retired from this program at the end of last year. But she did, I believe, 23 presentations the first year to try and sell this program to the community. So, as I said, most of the others have been on the program, have been with us for the whole time, and they have essentially one job, which is to raise money. So our mission is to put sculptures downtown. Sculptures are a very good public art because they're known as no barrier art. You can go look at it at all times. You don't have to pay anything. If you're downtown, it's not like you have to travel someplace. So public art is just available at all times and for everyone to see. Now, we look at this as an economic development project. It's not an art project. The whole reason for it is to bring people downtown and enjoy our downtown, and while you're at it, eat downtown and spend your money downtown. So it's really firmly in our minds. It's not an art project. It's an economic development project. So how do we do it? It's a 2-year cycle where the first year we put out a call for artists. We ask them who would love to bring a sculpture and put it on temporary display in our community for 2 years. And actually sculptors love these programs because it's kind of hard to display sculptures in a gallery. So we put out the call, we get applications. We do not, our group, board members that I just showed you, do not choose the art. We hire some artists, and we also work with the Visual Arts Commission, the city of, it's in the Parks Department, to choose which art is going to be temporarily displayed. And then every September, we put up these sculptures. It's on a Saturday. Our next one is going to be Saturday, September 14th. Work with the city. The city is really great because they have volunteers who bring out what I call the big boy toys, because some of our sculptures are big, and they help us install these new sculptures. And as I said, it's a temporary 2-year installation. The second year, we do 2 things. We raise money, and we ask the community which is their favorite sculpture. So in various ways, we have ballots out there. We go to some of the community events, and we're there with our ballots asking the community, which one do you like best? And we call this the people's voice. And the reason we don't call it the people's choice is because we weren't sure when we started, because we had our first installation in 2011. And if you remember, 2011 we were in the midst of a depression. And we had no idea how much money we could raise for an art project. So we didn't want the people to vote on a $15,000 sculpture and us only having raised $5,000. So we didn't call it the people's choice, we called it the people's voice. And so what else do I want to tell you? Okay, so then we buy a sculpture, we give it to the city at a commission meeting, and we receive 20% of the price as a commission. And the factoid that I really love to throw out there is, so far we've paid $4,400 in taxes, because every time we buy one of these sculptures we have to pay taxes. So we make some taxes for the city and state. Whoops. Okay, these are the following sculptures are installed on Commerce. When we started, we thought we would raise money for one sculpture every 2 years. We are just finishing our 4th rotation, and we have 15 sculptures, 13 that we've bought, and 2 that have been donated to us. And let's see, so here are the current, go real quickly down the current ones, the 15 that the city owns, and they're all on Commerce, excuse me. They're all on Commerce. And I understand you're a rowdy group. In fact, I could pick that up pretty quickly. So if you want a shout out at your favorite, please feel free. I'm going to try and go through these fairly quickly, but tell you some of the interesting facts. Okay, this one, was our first People's Voice purchase. Seahorse. Notice it's SEE because the sculpture believes that the materials will let him see what they want to be. So when he pulled all these horseshoes together, he thought, oh, they want to be a horse. So we have Seahorse. This was our first People's Choice, People's Voice, see, I can't even get it straight, People's Voice in 2012. This Endless Probabilities was made out of logging cable. So when we saw that one, we asked Weyerhaeuser's giving fund for money to buy that one, and they did. So the next one, Rainforest Stone. We really like this one also. This is from a Kansas limestone corner section of a fence because they don't have that many trees in Kansas, and they were using limestone poles. So this is a beautiful carved piece, and we got a grant from the Kuntz Family Trust to celebrate Longview's 90th birthday. And this one is scheduled to be moved into R.A. Long Park when they finish the updates on the park. So it's the only one on Commerce that is going to be moved off. Next one, this is Femme and Minstrel. This was donated by an artist from Astoria. It represents a Moroccan woman's robe blowing in the wind. La Minstrel means fierce winds. Chris? Does anyone remember Chris? He was very popular. He sat outside of a coffee shop, Gouzet's coffee shop for many years and then got moved. And it was purchased through a grant partially from Chris and Dennis Weber. So these were 5 sculptures from our first, 11 sculptures were in our first temporary one, and 5 of them were either purchased or given to us. And in addition, a 6th one was bought by John Chilson called Man Crow, and he put it in the Merc. So this was pretty successful first couple of years for this program. In our second go-round, Hound Dog was the People's Voice, and you may notice it's by the same artist as the first one. So this community really likes art made out of recycled items. The next one, Earth Spirit, represents the energy of the earth and how it grows energy, yet we all turn out different. And this sculpture changes over time because people tend to pull at parts of it and bend it down a little bit, and the artist says that's fine. That does not bother her at all. The Healer, I tried really hard to get some group to buy this, particularly the Chamber of Commerce, and maybe put it down at the Visitor Center in Kelso. But when they couldn't raise the money, we had a special fundraiser. It was a summer party at a house, and we raised enough money to keep this one. Beginnings was another one where every once in a while the board just falls in love with a sculpture. And this one has such a good story because the artist's son was born premature, and he weighed only 3 pounds and could be held in one hand. So the sculpture represents the huge, huge responsibility he felt for his son, who's now in college. So we built a campaign around that sculpture, and it was a most expensive one we purchased. It was a $14,000 sculpture, and we managed to keep that one in town, and we're real pleased about that. So that was our second 2-year cycle. Now we're starting on our third 2-year cycle. This was the People's Voice. It was a feather sculpture. And it represents wisdom, and it's a tribute to Native peoples and their beliefs. The next one, Modern Bloom by Jesse Swigart. I mention his name because he's going to show up again. What Jesse did was he lowered the price of that to a point where we couldn't say no, so we purchased that one. And it actually had been the runner-up. It was the runner-up on which was most popular. Our next one, Universal Beginnings, was also donated to us. And it was inspired by the artist used to go to the movies, and Universal Studios had a rotating earth as its logo. And so that inspired him to make that sculpture and then donate it to us. So now we're into our fourth rotation, ending in 2018, and this is the 2018 People's Voice, and it's Peace Totem by Jesse Swigart, who gave us the flower, the bloom, and also was the sculpture that Mr. Chilson bought, and he liked Jesse's work so much that he bought 2 other sculptures that are still downtown Lemerck. I think the Man Crow has been moved, but the other 2 are there. And I took this picture. This is only of the pictures that I took because I love to use Jesse's 5-year-old daughter to show how big that sculpture is. How many have seen it? It's really kind of hard to miss. But it is called Peace Arrow because when fighting tribes finally came to some peace agreement, they shot an arrow into the ground. So the down pointing arrow is the peace symbol, and then those are feathers on the side. And we also bought number 2 this year of our 2018 exhibit, and this is called The Chase. And it shows, this is a sculpture that sometimes doesn't photograph very well, but it's 2 otters chasing 2, I believe they're salmon, they're fish, but it's a beautiful sculpture. Both of those are on the corners of Broadway and Commerce. And a third one we purchased this year is called Summertime. It's a bronze and steel celebrating summer in the Northwest. And we purchased in honor of Dorothy Givers, which is our biggest donor, who's given us $25,000. Dorothy is just a wonderful art lover in Longview. Not only has she given us money, but also to CTPA. Now, we still have 5 sculptures left over from our installation, and they won't be taken out until September 14th. So we are hoping to purchase a couple of others. This one, Fat Tear number 5, is pretty self-explanatory. What's interesting about it is the artist developed it for photo taking. So he's got a couple of places on it where people can, I could use this, where people can put their feet, and I see a lot of children being put on that and photographed. Am I hard to hear every time I walk away from the microphone? I'm sorry if that happens. So we plan to actually have a male fundraiser to try and raise money to buy this one. This next one, Cetus, we'd also like to keep in town because I think it's got the best story. And what it is it's made from a German gravestone that was sold because the taxes had not been paid on the burial plot. So the artist went over to Germany, bought this piece of stone, and brought it and carved it into a whale-like creature. The next one, vertebrate, is just a beautiful carved basalt, and it's kind of like the chase. Some sculptures you just need to get up close and look at them for a while to really realize what beautiful works of art they are. Okay. This one is that one, the Guardian. The Sprout. Next one, the Guardian, and that's Chris grown up. We get our money mainly through community support. We've got 235 donors and have given over $130,000. We have a donor wall that we put up, and we have over 50 plaques of people who have given us more than $500, and 27 people have given us more than $1,000. So we honor our donors. We participate in Give More 24, which is a one-day online program, and we make quite a lot of money along with other nonprofits in the community. So look for that program to happen on, I had the date up there, September 19th. Right, because you can, as I said, there's about 26 Cowlitz County nonprofits that work in that program. And then the final, you've all got a postcard for the Community Rewards Program, and if you haven't worked with that program, it really helps the community because you can choose where some small amount of money will go. And we've raised like $1,000 since we've been in that program. So I think, and at last, we would love to give tours or presentations. So if you'd like me to give this kind of presentation only with the right, with the right PowerPoint, just contact us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can you stay for questions?
Sure. Oh, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Yeah, one more thing. Our goal, we've got 23 by 23. We want to give the city 23 sculptures by 2023, which is its 100th anniversary. So we've got eight sculptures to go. We've got plenty of time. We get tremendous community support, and I thank you all. And I do have time for questions. Yes?
I was just curious if any of the art pieces have been vandalized.
One was stolen. That is about as much vandalized as you could. Yeah, we had a beautiful carved swan, and it turned out wasn't attached to its base as well as it should have been. And I think what happened is somebody put their hands on it, realized it was loose, realized they could pick it up, and so took it away. We've had only one that was spray painted, and that was Chris, the boy, and the people from Gouzet's went out and removed it. And then the tall one, Universal Beginnings, somebody kind of pushes on that. The city is coming up with another base for it because that, it gets pushed. But other than that, no. And the word about these programs is there's very seldom any vandalizing for them. But thank you for asking that question.
Can you stay afterwards or answer other questions?
Sure.
Mr. President? Before you leave, we're going to give you a mug.
Oh.
There's plenty of places on Commerce that will fill this for you.
Oh, great.
And if you like
All
the
right.
fun we have here, you can become a permanent member by filling out this application. And I'm not going to let you go away without seriously considering it.
Oh. Wait, do I have to be rowdy?
Yes, you do.
Oh, good.
All right. Thank you.
Well,
It's a requirement.
Laurel, thank you for your great presentation. And for you that haven't really paid too much attention to the out sculptures. Laurel has been working on this for many years, as long as I've been around. She done a terrific job putting all this together. Her and Hans are a team that you can't beat. So anyhow, with that, Bob, I'm gonna put you first on the list next week to talk. Don't forget, folks, get your kettle corn over here. Tomorrow night, orientation, McClellan Arts Center, 6 p.m. Nice and warm. Cindy Sessions has a awards meeting over here. Oh, she's not going over there, she's gonna sit right where she's at. Lucky drawing for the dessert. Mark. Mark. Oh, well, lucky blue ticket number 233 82 5 6 7. John Claypool. Lucky red ticket number. That's upside down. 656990.
Oh, it looks like
656990. Oh, Judy Fromdahl has it. Bob, where does Judy want it to go? White cane. Thank you. With that, thank you everybody for coming today. We had a great time. See you all next week.